Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 1st of July 2020. So the headline for yesterday, Dow soars to best quarter since 87 as Fed balance sheet explodes. Everything is awesome. Obviously tongue-in-cheek and loaded with sarcasm there. As I keep saying in the Market Alert, the whole thing is a joke, the way they're reporting things at the moment. And you can see this yesterday. We'll come back to this in a moment. Watch live Powell and the Munchkin explain to Congress how they saved the economy. They didn't save the economy. The economy is going down the drain. And we all know it is. It's just rhetoric. And the same from Andy Haldane as well. Another one from the Bank of England. So far, V-shaped recovery. Bank of England chief economist sees sharp bounce back. What an absolute joke. This is the sort of news that we're getting reported now. And people believe this stuff. Utter nonsense. Anyway, let's have a look at what else we've got. Yeah, I mean, here's the joke. Despite national lockdown and sale collapse, US home prices accelerated for the 9th straight month in April. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, people were locked up. I mean, how on earth can they say that, produce figures like this? But we've seen it time and again, haven't we, over the last few weeks? And eventually we'll see this all revealed as a complete and utter pack of lies. Just again, it's just rhetoric to try and boost the markets. However, yesterday we have this odd day that turns up that is always strange, and yesterday was this one. We always get one in the quarter of the financial year, and yesterday was the 30th of June. That was the end of the second quarter. And the market was incredibly quiet. Amazing. The day before we saw moves of 100 points. And yesterday we could barely manage 10 or 15. It was just dire. But these days turn up. It's all part of trading. As Mark Douglas says, anything can happen. And it does now and again. And yesterday was one of those days. And we can see the market sprang into life. It traded to the 200 bar moving average with some buying. It was then followed by selling. And the market just drifted sideways. And then the BRN here, the psychological level of 12,250 became a magnet. And the market just traded away, came back. Then it sat on it, and then it broke away and went down to the DP and psychological level, and then started to move higher. So the first trade of the day was a losing trade. The market put in a sell signal. It was filled. I'll just draw this in. And it's all par for the course. This is what we have to get used to and adapt to as traders. There are days when we just get this sideways move, and you can see it here. So the order was filled, and then the market reversed. And then, given the backdrop of what we've got here with the sideways move, we know things aren't going to improve for a while, and they certainly didn't. We managed to scalp on this one as prices found support at this BR, and again, like I say, it became a magnet to the point that it couldn't actually move itself away to the 200 bar moving average, and then eventually prices reversed and they went lower. But again, I only managed to scalp on this because of the support to the left and the BRN. It was just one of those very frustrating mornings where prices just traded sideways. And like I say, they come along, and it's having the mental makeup to actually live with these sorts of things. But if you trade in probabilities, you just keep going, and you know eventually the market will break in your favor. As I discovered earlier on in the year when we went into just prior to the COVID breakout, there was a streak that I had where it was 7 consecutive losses. You just trade through them, and then eventually everything works out fine. It's like a test of resolve, but again, trading in probabilities as per the course. This is it's there to show you that if you continue on, then it all comes fine in the end. It's just that it gets stuck in these 1 day per quarter where this happens, and of course you can't predict it. Yesterday was at the last day of the quarter. So the market opened in the afternoon. Things didn't improve. Again, you can see we're still stuck at that same psychological level, and now the 200 bar moving average is also at this level as well for the buy side, but there was absolutely no impetus, and this was obviously the reason for this was the market was waiting for Powell and the Munchkin to speak. So what it did was coil itself again, and also just a correction here, there's two losing trades to begin with here, because the market filled this. It didn't go up to the scalp. It put in a sell signal, which was actually counter the other way. So the first two were losing trades there as well. Like I say, they come along once in a while just to test you. And then we had the buy signal and recovered some of the losses as the market broke again. Just wouldn't go up. And then we had another sell signal. As soon as this sell signal came up, we had this small bar where it closed back above the 20 bar moving average. I thought, here we go. This is going to move back to the upside, and that's precisely what it did. And then managed to move once it broke out and traded up to the previous day's high. We see all of the selling here, and then the market moved lower and then continued throughout the evening there. So overnight, prices have gapped down and have moved sideways and then moved higher. And currently, we've got a bit of a sell-off going on down to the DP. If we look at the daily chart, you will see there is some weakness. The sideways move remains intact here. You can see it. So it's either got to break to the upside, or we're coming back to the downside to the 200 bar moving average. And I don't mind a nice short of 100 points to the downside. That will be just fine, just to pick up some of those other losses from yesterday. Not had a day like that for a long time, as I say. So we're ended the day slightly down. But hopefully today, it's another day, we will see the markets volatility actually return, which is would be very much appreciated. So yeah, there is a pickup here at the moment in the volatility as well, which is good. So yeah, another day, another dollar, as they say. And meanwhile, in the implied volatility, this also moving lower for yesterday as well. We're back below the 200 MA. This means that there is potential for the downside in this market as well. Okay, that will do it for this one. Let's have a quick look at the news. Don't forget, we are the other thing to throw in the equation for yesterday as well is we are heading towards the Independent Day celebrations in the US as well. No US markets on Friday, which will leave the European markets to move higher actually if they wish to do so. But news today, we've got the ADP non-farm employment. This is wow. Yeah, so last month we had minus 2.7 million, and now we're looking at have created 2.8 million. Like I say, you can't make this stuff up, can you? Wow, that's something. So here's a graphic from the Forex Factory site. You can see that let's go back to here, which I think is May. Yeah, you can see there the minus 20 million, and then last month it only came in at minus 2.7. So they are actually predicting 2.8 to the upside. Like I say, you can't make this stuff up anymore. It is going to be interesting to say the least. But if that comes out that way, then you're going to see the stock market move sharply to the upside, even though it's down at the moment. Okay, that will do it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.